I worked with Paul Dovre at Concordia for 17 years, and then a couple more as he came back as interim over the course of my years at the college. But even during the time when he has not been actively employed by the college or as a retired president, we have stayed in contact. He has been a significant mentor to me my entire career.
I first got to know him when I took a class from him, discussion and debate, and he was a master at discussion and debate. And I learned a lot from him as a student, and I was very happy to later have him join as the campus as a colleague of mine. So I really got to know him as a teacher, as a colleague, and as a supervisor boss of mine over all the years. So we go way back.
When did I really get to know him? Probably 21 years ago when I started at Eventide. Kind of comes with the job, you're part of the Rotary Club, but getting to sit down and chat with him and again, through humor and through great conversation over, more than 20 years now being a fellow Rotarian, it's really helped me come to know and understand him better. And you should never meet your heroes, is that the old line? But honestly, I even have even more respect and fondness for the guy now that I've gotten to know him.
First impressions I had of Paul is I felt like he was a man that really had his program put together. He knew what he wanted. He let you know what he expected, and he guided you along the way.
What I admire most about Paul is his unfailing commitment to that which matters most to him, which is his faith, his family, in this Concordia College. He's just an incredibly loyal and gifted person.
He's got a very clever and clean wit, I might add. You know how tough that is these days to be both funny and clean, and he can pull it off. And he's very inquisitive. I think that's the other thing I take away from him is that, and it really doesn't even matter what we're talking about, it's just there's more questions, and you truly feel like you are the center of his conversation and his universe at the time you're talking to him. It's just a gift that I admire.
He wanted everything to run well and be quality. And what a thing to be able to do as a president, to sort of instill in everybody the need for quality. And it was true with academic work as well as all the other things that go on in a community.
Paul is one of the best communicators I know. He's a very gifted individual when it comes to giving a talk to a group. I've sat on the board with Paul for many years, and not every day is a sunshiny day. I've seen Paul under situations that were less than fun. He never lost his demeanor and just approached it, well, we got a problem, we got to solve it. And that's what worked.
I always laughed, one of his nicknames on campus, I don't know if we used it directly to him, but it was the Dove. And everybody thought, oh, great, it's shorter than Dovre, let's go with it, sounds cool, the Dove. But the more you get to know the guy, the more you know that he's earned that name because he truly is a man of peace and a man who listens before he seeks to be understood. And it's those kind of qualities that have made him such a great college president, such a big impact player in our community, even to this day.
You normally would think that a college president, an academic, would be a little stuffy and not be willing to have some fun and have some lighter moments. Well, we proved from day one when students came to this campus that, we were figures that had authority and power and all of that, but we also could have fun. And so for over 20 years, Paul and I would put together a skit and do for our new students, where we would take off from one of the popular movies of the day, like the Blues Brothers, for example, or the Ghostbusters. And the students would sit there saying, wow, you mean the president, the dean can act like that and have some fun? They must be okay guys. That's very important. And to this day, both of us hear from alums that talk about how they were touched by that experience of seeing us be human.
If you imagine your college president and your dean of students are dressed in essentially, grown man Halloween costumes. It really was welcoming, and it really did bring down the anxiety, I'm sure, of every new freshman for how many years, 25 plus years that they were doing it. So yeah, pretty special stuff.
Paul does this over and over with lots of different people. If Paul thinks you can do something, you do it, because there's something in your head that says, well, if Paul thinks I can, well, I guess I can. Paul can see potential in people. He sees their capacities. He sees what they can become and do. And he was never reluctant about identifying the opportunities for that person to do that stretch and grow.
You know, when you get to that division point in your life where you don't know what is the right answer, you could always carry that issue to Paul and say, Paul, what do you think? Would he expect you to follow it? No, but he'd give you the best of his thinking.
He was very sharp. He was a great teacher, and I learned a lot from him. And not only when he was my teacher in a classroom, but learned a lot from him over all these years. He contributed greatly to my development, and that helped me do a better job as a citizen working in the community and the region.
He's unrattled. So what you get is the same guy, whether it's crisis or whether it's fantastic news. He's very even keel. On my best days as a leader, I feel like it looks more like Paul. And on my worst, it is the polar opposite of Paul. And so I think that's the truest testament to how I feel about his leadership, is just he represents the gold standard in my mind of how you'd want to be treated by a leader and what you'd be looking for in terms of leadership. Whether it's at a community level or whether it's in a professional setting here on this campus or in my own workplace.
Paul Dovre has not only had a major impact on Concordia, to be sure. Concordia is today because of him, a star, a leader in education. But the community is what it is today because of people like Paul Dovre, who have done what they can to make sure things are being done right in the community.
If you're a leader, it's also helping others to experience and become leaders as well. And I actually think that that is one of Paul's significant legacies. Whether we're talking about Concordia College, the Fargo-Moorhead community, the church, or any of the many organizations that he has been involved with for the last 60 plus years, is leadership. And it's about being involved in your whole community.
I think the legacy that Paul has provided our community over the years is, again, one of collaboration, one of thoughtful leadership. Anybody that's been touched by his leadership in those roles, whether it be volunteer or here at the campus, are better off for it and more prepared for what's coming next. We come up with all these cliches, servant leadership or planting that seed for a tree whose shade you may not be around to enjoy. That is Paul Dovre.
Paul, congratulations on being recognized as the 2024 Legacy Leader. You are so deserving of this award. It recognizes your commitments to this community over the many, many decades. Thank you for the opportunity to share so many of those years with you, Paul. Congratulations.
Paul, congratulations on receiving the Chamber's Legacy Award. This is most deserving for you. Thank you for what you've done for this community, the college, and for me and people like me.
Paul, I want to congratulate you on winning the Legacy Award with Fargo-Moorhead Chamber. It's a great award and well-deserved. Thank you.
President Dovre, once again, what an honor to be here to congratulate you on your 2024 Legacy Leadership Award. This is so well-deserved. We're just so proud of you and the work that you've done in your community, at your organization, and frankly for all of us. And with that, again, congratulations on this very well-deserved award, and proud to call you my friend. Thank you.